My ex keeps texting me but will not meet up. If you find yourself in this situation, here are a few things that you can do. But before we start, I wanted to welcome you to the With My Ex Again project. If this is your first time on the channel, welcome. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. And if you've been here before, welcome back. My name is Danny and I'm one of the head coaches. And the reason why I wanted to cover this video is because it's a question that I get all the time in my one-on-one coaching sessions, right? You've broken up with your ex or your ex has broken up with you and you're kind of in this weird limbo dynamic where you're not exactly sure how to move forward, how to progress, if things are going to progress, but there is still a line of communication, right? So finding yourself in this dynamic where your ex continues to text you but refuses to meet up, or comes up with excuses, or disappears when you try to set something up, is an indication of their intentions. My biggest thing is actions, right? Actions are what actually count. Now, that's not to completely negate words because words matter as well. But in a situation like this, I'm telling you, it's better to focus on actions over words, right? Ask yourself the question, how is this dynamic benefiting me? How is this making me feel? Do I feel like I am in a position that is leading me to chase this person? Is it affecting your self-esteem? Are you feeling less confident? Are you more anxious, stressed because you're just trying to make things work, but it does not seem to be moving along? It does not seem to be progressing. So if you really want to try and get out of this dynamic, here is what you are going to do. Number one, stop texting them. They need to realize that you aren't going to sit around wasting your days talking to them while they live their life. You have a life too. You have things that are going on as well. And the most common mistake that people make is when your ex texts you, you have a tendency of responding right away. It shows that you are too available, right? And there's a multitude of different reasons for why they may be texting you. It may be because they actually genuinely miss you, but they're not ready to get back into a relationship. It may be because they're just checking to make sure that you're still around, just in case their option A doesn't work out, you can be option B. There's many different reasons, but what we are trying to do here is we're trying to shift the dynamic. And the only way that you're going to shift the dynamic is to do something different. If you find yourself always responding, keeping in constant communication with this person, but again, you don't feel like things are progressing, then do something else, right? The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results. So get yourself out of that dynamic. That is incredibly important, right? So number two, live your life. As hard as this concept may be, right? As hard as it is to actually allow yourself to understand the reality of the situation, it is absolutely necessary. It's an essential part of this process. This will teach them to respect you and realize what they have lost. But not only that, if you're living your life and doing your thing, you are less likely to be focused on when are they going to text me back? Are they going to text me today? What are they going to say? Is this going to be the text that changes everything, right? The more downtime we have, the more it allows our brains to go crazy. Do not allow your brain to go crazy. Now, there are going to be certain periods of the day that you can't help it. So in the morning when you wake up, it's likely that it'll probably be one of the first thoughts that you have. And before bed, it'll probably be the last thought that you have. But that's because during those periods of the day, it's downtime. You're just waking up. You're just getting ready for your day. And at nighttime, you are getting ready to go to sleep. So throughout the entirety of the day, it's important that you are filling your day with things to do. So that's work, that's hanging out with friends, that's a hobby, that's exercise, whatever it is that you need to do in order to distract yourself. Now, distraction in this case means doing things that are healthy. healthy distractions, things that are going to increase your self-confidence, increase your self-esteem, so that you feel like when the opportunity presents itself down the road, you are ready. You're not going to be emotional. You're not going to be needy or clingy or any of these things, because you've given it a sufficient amount of time for you to process what has happened, to grieve the relationship, to create your own life. So now you're independent and autonomous, and you're not reliant on this person's messages to validate you or make you feel fulfilled for that day. You're back to that person that you used to be. And that is the most important part of this, right? Grounding yourself, focusing on yourself, prioritizing yourself. And the last thing here, number 3, is avoid temptation. If you find it hard to not text them, leave your phone somewhere else, out of sight, out of mind, right? And for some people, this may not be possible. Maybe you rely on your phone for work or whatever the case may be. Then silence their notifications or block them for a period of time so that you don't have to worry about checking your phone 24/7 to see if they messaged you. My recommendation usually is just to silence those notifications to begin with, so that you don't really have to, because there's this habit that we form when we are waiting for something to come through, like a message. We continually start checking our phone, and it almost becomes like this weird ritual routine that we do. I know you have all done it, because I do it myself, where I'm constantly checking my pocket to see if my phone has gone off. Or sometimes you just open up your phone and just blankly scroll and then turn your phone off. It's this kind of pattern that we form with our phones. And if you have formed that pattern because you're continually checking to see if your ex has texted you, it's important that you pull yourself out of that place. So silence the notifications. If you have the ability to, put your phone away in a drawer while you are working, so you don't have to have this urge to be checking your phone. And if you have to, leave the phone in another room and walk away. Those are the 3 things that you can do right now to get yourself out of this dynamic. Now, there are multiple different things that we can do, right, in regards to angles to approach, strategies, recommendations, or any of those things. And if that is something that you feel like you need support with, I am more than happy to help you with that. I coach people one-on-one on how to create the perfect situation for themselves. I can help you manage and navigate this situation and get you out of this place of being stuck, where you feel like you're not really progressing and you're not moving forward. So if that is something that you are interested in, I will provide a link in the description box down below, so that you can book your one-on-one coaching session and we can start to change the dynamic right now. My name is Danny. I'm your life and relationship coach. I hope you guys are staying happy and healthy, and I'll see you in the next video.